Okay, well, tonight I'm going to talk about PhotonStar, and we're a business that's had quite a long history in LED lighting, and we're making a change in our business towards the Internet of Things, and I'll go on to explain what that is. We're on AIM, so we have the disclaimer, but I won't bore you with reading it. So a little bit of an overview of us. We're a British designer and manufacturer of smart lighting and building control solutions, and that last piece is the bit we are moving into. The company was formed in 2007. We launched our first product in 2008, so we've been making LED lighting for quite a long time. In 2010, we did a reverse takeover of a business called Emphis. They needed a new plan, and we needed an ability to fund the growth in the business. So we came to market, and the stock ticker is now PSL.L. So we have three business units. The first one is PhotonStar LED Ltd. We're a lighting fixture manufacturer. We work on the new build market, and we work with architects and M&E consultants and house builders, and we do large lighting projects. We have a second business, called Camtronics Vale, which is a subcontract manufacturer. We acquired that in 2011 to get the quality just right in terms of our LED product development. We also do manufacturing for other companies with a specialty in LED lighting as well. And our third business, PhotonStar Technology, holds the product range Halcyon wireless control and LED light engines. Now, Halcyon is our, and I'll just show you what I'm talking about here, is our kind of wireless lighting control system. Effectively, it's, if you try to do this kind of thing, 10 years ago, it would have cost you tens of thousands of pounds to put into your house. You can now do that for sort of £1,000. The idea is the technology's moved on quite a bit. So this is our general lighting fixtures business. This is the West Quay shopping centre in Southampton. And you'll notice the products are actually quite similar, and you'll see that some of them are used in the new build market and in the retrofit market, so there is a sort of follow through on that. Group revenue in 2015, 6.9 million. We have a strong IP base, an R&D base, and we've got 17 patent families, quite a lot of which are now granted, and they range from LED chip technology, packaging, and then more lately we've moved, we have a couple of patents and a very key one in the IoT space that's just been granted, which is quite great. So we've just raised £1 million in funding, so again, we're not looking for money here, we're just trying to let you know that we're changing as a business, and maybe this is an opportunity for you to recognise that. Okay, so we have a manufacturing base in Wales. This is our fixtures business, so it's actually on this side of the building. So I'm drawing a line there, and I'm going, that side is fixtures, and then we have our Camtronics business is on that side. So that's our manufacturing base in Wales. We've got about 110 people in the group, about 80 of them involved in manufacture. So we set this facility up in 2012. We acquired Camtronics via a share purchase in 2011, and this gave us expansion space for our lighting business. We've got capacity to manufacture about 5,000 luminaires a week there. Okay. So here's some examples of our customers in the lighting space. So I guess the Dorchester collection. So if you go to the Dorchester Hotel and 45 Park Lane, the new Dorchester, we provided the lighting for that. We were on Channel 4 in Home of the Future, or House of the Future, where we provided the lighting there. And anyway, you recognise some of these names anyway. So we do some quite a lot of lighting projects. Here's an example, just a visual one of the kind of projects we do. So all the lighting in this project, it's not particularly great on this projector actually, but anyway, that looks great. Just take my word for it. Okay. We also have an exclusive house builder contract. So we work with Crest Nicholson. We started working with them in 2012. And why they use us rather than anybody else is our products do not go wrong. And now for a company like Crest, who offers a 2-year NHBC guarantee on their product, their house, their building, they don't really want to get called to say, oh, the light's broken, can you come and fix it? And by the way, the contractors don't like that either, because they have to go back and fix it for free. So actually we sell a lot more to Crest than we actually sell to Crest, ironically, because the contractors who use the Crest product and put it in for Crest often will put it in other buildings and other house builders because they know they don't have to go back and fix it. So that's pretty amazing. We've been doing that since 2012. It's very likely we'll get an extension of that contract in due course, but it's pretty good that a major house builder thinks we make the best products on the market there. Okay, so I'm going to leave lighting alone. We've got a fairly solid lighting business, and I'm going to just take a look at a few of the other bits. Camtronics Vale, the subcontract manufacturer, as you see, standard electronics SMT, and really we wanted to make sure that the LED products that we manufactured were all handled properly and were going to last if we wanted to control it. That's kind of a bit paranoid, but then we're giving out 5-year warranties, and I guess the results talk for themselves in that our products don't seem to go wrong. But this is the bit I guess I'm talking to you about now, really. The main focus of the talk is going to be about the Halcyon system. Now, this is our kind of blueprint for the future of lighting. Now, I guess this is every lighting control system you've ever seen in a commercial building, a bar. It's got color changing. It's actually wireless, so it targets retrofit. You can do colors and effects. It's digital. It's also got something called Circadian in it, which means that it delivers the right kind of light for your body clock to make you function and feel good in your work and house environment. So this is a very simple blueprint. We've actually been working on this for 3 years. It also produces a lot of data about the light, about the environment it's in, about usage. You get metadata out of the system in terms of who's using what part of the system. So that's what we started as our blueprint. It's actually developed into a full commercial lighting system. It's got at the center of it, it's got a server. This is basically equivalent of an iPhone 4S without a screen, and that runs the whole show. Everything talks to it wirelessly. We've got switches, we've got sensors, we've got light bulbs, we've got commercial fittings, tape light, everything you need to deliver a commercial lighting project. Now, I want to talk about the circadian side of things because we as a company have believed for a very long time in the value of circadian lighting. I haven't gone into a lot of detail about this, but it can really make you feel much better, make you perform better at work. It can cut down, improve your mood and everything. And it's really about the fact that light is the primary cue to your body clock. So we all know about this because if any of us have ever traveled to different time zones, we get something called jet lag. It's actually not jet lag. It's to do with the fact your body's expecting to be asleep when you're awake, and it's expecting to see light and when you're not. And that's really what it's about. But as you know, the color of the sun, the light from the sun changes due to the angle of the sun through the atmosphere. That cuts out different bits of the spectra. All we're doing with this, I say all, but not many people do it, all we're doing with this is we're mimicking the spectral content of the sun using multi-channel LED control. So we started putting microprocessors into lighting products in about 2009 to be able to control this and deliver this kind of technology. So if you get it right, you feel fantastic. If you get the right light at the right time. If you get it wrong, like jet lag, you feel pretty terrible. So it's important to get it right. Now, this is actually projected to be quite a big market in Europe. I think Lighting Europe is projecting about 2.3 billion per year by 2020. That's quite a growth from where we are now. There's hardly anybody really has systems like this that can deliver this. So, okay, I've told you what circadian lighting is. There's a whole bunch of academic studies confirming the benefits of circadian lighting. I think the first two are probably the most interesting. I won't read them all, but the first two are probably the most relevant. In school studies, they found that with biologically optimized lighting or circadian lighting, concentration levels in school children improved by 35%. Reducing errors by 45%, classroom hyperactivity reduced by 76%. Now that's got to be a good thing. In another school study, it showed a 60% increase in cognitive processing speed with the right lighting. By the way, in here, this is the wrong lighting for us to be wide awake and alert, so I understand. It's tricky. So I guess the point here is the academics have known this for a long time, but there hasn't really been the technology base to be able to deliver this kind of biodynamic circadian lighting. It needs a combination of a light source that can change its spectral content throughout the day, control, and connectivity. So we've kind of developed that. I think we've been working with NASA's sleep advisor, Dr. Stephen Lockley, to develop our light source technology, which we call Chroma White. And here's an example in the Mars mission. They actually put it was a mock Mars mission, and they put 6 people in a shed in Texas for 520 days, and they kind of thought these were all sensible, rational astronaut types, all going to behave well, and some of them really went kind of a bit off the rails, and it didn't, and they put it down to the lighting, because some people became very aggressive, some people became very lethargic, and it just didn't work. So they realized that this circadian lighting is pretty important. Now, of course, while we're all walking around London and we're out and about and doing the things we do get the benefit of natural daylight. But when we're stuck in offices or hospitals or care homes or something like that, or schools, we're not getting the right kind of light to nourish our body clock and help us perform well. So these performance benefits are pretty substantial if you think about it in terms of the workplace. If you could monetize those, I guess that's a key thing we focus on. So this circadian is at the core of our system, and it obviously is a good thing to get this kind of lighting right. So we've been out putting this into a number of locations. This is St Mary's Hospital in London. We delivered circadian lighting into this application. Of course, hospitals are notoriously difficult to reroute wires and things, so the wireless really worked in here. So it was very much cheaper to install. I think the total cost of ownership is really this curve here would be a conventional wired system. You can see it's just a lot cheaper to put in, and most of the difference is actually is in the actual installation, as you can imagine. So we also were able to save them 60% of the energy, and this is on the nurses have been quite vocal about how fantastic this lighting is. As a result, it's on the NHS website. You can get links to that on our website, and they've been very positive. So as a result, we're doing quite a lot of healthcare type applications with this circadian lighting. We've also picked up quite a lot of awards for Halcyon. This is a good thing. We've picked up quite a few. These are good for building the profile. They're not just good for the ego. Things like the Buildings Energy Efficiency Award, the IET. Generally, this gives you industry credibility and market traction. So we're very proud to have become nominated and picked up awards here. So that's great. Okay. I guess additionally, we've been doing quite a lot of things that we haven't really been telling the market, and in December we explained that actually we'd been working with IBM for about 1.5 years, developing our cloud platform that sits on top of the Halcyon system and connects it up, allowing us to visualize and see the performance of lights and ultimately buildings remotely, monitor energy, control buildings remotely. So of course we wouldn't dream of doing that kind of cloud connectivity all by ourselves, so we've been relying very heavily on the IBM cloud platform to do that. But as a result, IBM have been quite impressed with the work we've done, and we were invited here to the launch of their Watson IoT group in Munich. There were 6 demos there, and ours was the only one that wasn't an IBM demo. So we were really proud to be invited. And here's an example. Our lights are mimicking the colors of the Watson IoT logo. They thought that was fantastic, and obviously, it's a good thing. Now, practically speaking, the whole tie-up with IBM is really about us developing a next generation set of technologies. So I guess here's where we are today. Majority of our 2015 revenue is in what I call first phase LED lighting. That is efficiency cell, doing new build type applications, house builders, etc. But we've also got significant market traction with our Halcyon wireless lighting system, with over 200 systems deployed. The system size is up to 500 nodes. So that makes it one of the most advanced commercial wireless lighting control systems that are out there, and really validates the platform. So we've now got a proven platform with fairly rapid paybacks, brought on by the fact that it isn't expensive to install wireless. You don't have to run any wires and knock buildings apart and things. We've got installs in offices, obviously healthcare, hospitals, care homes, houses and hotels, which is great. And of course, in the Circadian, with the Circadian benefit that we explained here, this shows significant benefits in commercial applications such as care homes and hospitals. So I guess we see a big opportunity here for the company. The Internet of Things, and by the way, the Internet of Things is where all the machines talk to each other and do clever things. Past that, it's all down to the specifics of the application. This kind of technology is really a kind of macro trend of super low-cost wireless, incredible levels of processing power available for sub $1, and cloud connectivity. And this effectively will transform a lot of markets. It basically reduces the price points of things that we used to be able to always do. Maybe in lighting control. I think Bill Gates put something in his house in 1976 that would simulate some of this stuff, but I think he paid millions for it, whereas now you can have this for a few hundred to £1,000. So the point is, the IoT is really about being able to deliver the kind of things that you always used to be able to do, but at a price point that we've never really been able to imagine before. So this is going to revolutionize lighting, and we think also commercial building management. So the validation, I guess, through the collaboration with IBM, the award recognition, and the proven installs, we feel we're in a good place to move this forward. So we feel we've got a first mover advantage. And by the way, this is the Iot Innovation Lab at IBM Hursley, which is where they showcase the very latest technology. We put that in February 2015. This is an energy dashboard showing that. In fact, actually, that picture is superimposed on that because I actually took that photograph in Las Vegas and then just happened to show the two together. So the point is, we were able to remotely view and manage the lighting in there if we needed to. So there's a rapid growth in IoT forecasted. Now this is across all sectors, and these are some big numbers here. We're expecting, data growth, maybe times 49 over a 10-year period. That's an incredible amount of data being generated. And it's really all these devices talking to each other. You can envisage new business models, new service opportunities, just new ways of doing things. It's going to change a lot of industries. The market size is very hard to guess. Some people are going as 6.1 trillion down to 14 trillion. Now, this across all sectors. So I think, in our area, which is really lighting control and building management, it's probably subtly different. Okay, so I guess we kind of look about what we're really focusing. This business, this new business that we've developed through Halcyon, is effectively really focused on the retrofit market, because 80% of the buildings that exist in 2050 in the UK have already been built. We know we can save energy with wired building control systems. 50% is the widely accepted thing. But these smaller buildings, this is what this says, these small buildings don't have building control systems, and therefore you can't save the energy. So our target is really the existing building stock that's out there, which is by far a bigger market than the new build market. So we asked ourselves a question. Okay, how do we save our customers more money? I guess they already kind of like the fact we could save them 60–80% in their lighting, and they said, well, okay, we've got all these other things that are costing us money. Can you help us with that? We're also interested in reducing site visits, because one of the things you lighting guys have done to us is you've given us emergency lighting that needs testing 12 times a year. Now, if you have a big building, this isn't a big overhead because you've got a maintenance guy, he can go and check it. But if you've got a remote retail outlet, say, for example, you've got to send somebody in a truck or a van to go and do something about that. So, to be honest with you, could you do something about that? So we've come up with a way where we can remotely monitor through the cloud the emergency lighting, so nobody has to go to site. So very simply, just that one thing alone would remove the need to go to site about 80% reduction in visits, which is pretty something. Okay, so this is our system as it is now. You can see the original one in here. This is really washed out on the projector, but you get the idea. This was our original lighting control system. We've added another radio in to pull in all these other functions to give us power management, heating, gas, electric monitoring, etc. And that allows us to tackle more of these kind of problems that we explained before, and be able to provide a full building management system that you can retrofit into a small building. We call our product that allows you to do this Halcyon Cloud BMS, and this I guess, gives you the ability to remotely view energy, look at maintenance issues, give you environmental intelligence, and also manage that asset more appropriately. One of our first sort of partner customers is RBS, and we were successful in their Go Green initiative. As part of that, we get to do paid-for trials, and then after that has gone through, then I guess if we're successful, we get access to their large property portfolio, which I think is worth going for. So I guess in summary, we're historically an innovative LED lighting company. We're growing into a system and software business to deliver next generation solutions to customers. I should add that Cloud BMS is effectively a monthly subscription service, so it's kind of like a reoccurring revenue stream as opposed to a straight product sale, which we make some money on. And we feel we've got a good position to do this. We've got a market validated lighting system, and we see a genuinely massive opportunity ahead of us in terms of this. So where we are with Halcyon, as I say, it's built on IBM's platform, which gives us confidence that it's going to be scalable and stable, and they've managed all the challenging security issues that we normally give us a lot of headaches. And we expect as we deploy the systems to get a kind of a blend of hardware plus also software, service subscription. Now, actually, the way we price this, the paybacks are incredibly quick because the cost of sending a guy to a site can be hundreds of pounds. So we're looking at paybacks usually with our customers that anything can be the first visit, which could be 1 month, to kind of a year and a half. So we're talking sort of typically about a year payback for this kind of system. So where we are right now is we're at the trial installation stage with major customers. The only one I can mention at this point is RBS. But anyway, I guess any questions?
Questions, anybody? Gentleman here, then gentleman over there.
Thank you for your talk. Philips, I believe, have come out with something called a starter kit. I was just reading it offhand. It has it's run by an iPhone app. So one question is, how would that stand side by side with your company's profile?
Okay, so the
second part
please.
of the question is, if I remember correctly, each bulb was around $30 US dollars. Which seems very high, but then at the same time, perhaps it's because they probably don't need to be replaced for a couple of years. I don't know. What would the pricing? How would that stand with your pricing and things like that?
Okay, so let me answer the first bit, which was around how do we stack up against someone like Philips with their Hue system. There's quite a few of what the smart home products. We haven't focused our development on smart home, and if you notice, the products were very much not to do with the home. You had 600 by 600 ceiling tiles for commercial office, hotels, etc. We've got spot and downlights, things you'd put into a commercial environment. So we've got a different mix of products. Yes, you can control ours with an app if you wish to, but actually most people in commercial are not really interested in that. That is a novelty item. What they're interested in is perhaps the wall controls as standalone, plus the ability to remotely monitor that from a maintenance point of view. So the whole system has been architected and thought through differently. It also scales to a level that the domestic type products won't. So that particular product is based on a protocol called Zigbee. It's going to struggle to scale past 50, 100, 150 devices. We're already installing over 500 nodes in some of our systems, and clearly if you look in a building like this in this room we've got probably more than 50 lights. So you can kind of see that the scalability is quite key to the application in commercial. So the price points are different in commercial and domestic and consumer. So I'd say we might sell lighting panels for sort of 50, 80, 100 pounds, one of these fellas here, whereas a Philips Hue bulb would be kind of 60, 80 pounds for a color tunable one. Additionally, we've optimized all our products. We have versions that are circadian in nature, so they will deliver this biodynamic lighting, which of course is quite key to, say, the healthcare market. So I think very different, although I can see why you would immediately say that, and that's a really good question, because I guess I didn't make that distinction in the talk.
But then, do you see a player like Philips, you know, would they not be thinking ahead and in terms of scalability in the near future, or?
Well, I guess they may, but at this point we've invested pretty heavily and pretty early into the retrofit market. I'd say, you know, a lot of the lighting companies don't really focus on retrofit as an opportunity because it's quite difficult to sort of make the sale to an end customer. Some do, but very few. Whereas actually what we're offering is a solution to a bigger problem, which is energy management and maintenance issues within a building. So that's subtly different.
Gentleman over there.
Good afternoon. I was at the Crossrail station this afternoon at Tottenham Court Road, and I noticed that all their lighting is LED, but it looks very similar in physical looks to the original fluorescents. I wonder whether or not your company was involved in any of that type of work.
Not in Crossrail, no. I think we obviously focus in certain areas. We look at healthcare, care homes, hotels, offices. That's our main focus as a business, and actually that's where you get the most benefit of circadian lighting, because it's a bit difficult with, say, railway stations to sort of know what to do there, because people are operating 24/7. So what do you do with that? Whereas I guess a building that you know, a hotel would want to kind of mimic the circadian cycle. So we've as a business, we've focused on people who would be interested mostly in the circadian benefits. So we would, you know, have gone after a segment which is office, healthcare, which is a good size piece of the market anyway. So.
Thank you for the answer.
Any more questions? I've got two. Your turnover is over £6 million at the moment. Yes. Have you got any forecasts, or brokers brought any forecasts out about your potential revenue on the light of the trials you've got with Halcyon?
I guess our broker, Northland Capital Partners, joint broker, has a note out, yes. The existing business, there's a couple of dynamics in here. The existing business, I guess, is seeing price erosion on the fixed white side. So we're seeing a sort of a downward pressure. So our volumes are going up, but actually, like the previous presenter said, you know, they're making more, but they're not making as much money. So that part of the business is sort of growing volume, but staying relatively flat. And we're expecting the growth to come from Halcyon. We installed about 300,000 last year. I think, conservatively, we think we're going to do at least the same again in lighting, and then the rest depends on success in the trials that we're currently going through. And obviously any one of those trials with the companies I haven't mentioned is actually a bit of a game changer in terms of revenue. So, you know, as a business, we're really very focused on that. I mean, take RBS. If we were successful to win the contract, the whole of the RBS estate over a number of years, you know, that would be a game changer for our revenue numbers if you look at the size of each contract. So I guess the point is we're kind of using the value of the software we're writing means that if you put it in one, you want the savings across everything. So it's more likely to generate a rollout type opportunity rather than effectively where we are now is working on a project by project basis.
So no direct forecast from Northland at the moment on that revenue from Halcyon?
I think they're forecasting about 700,000
in the
this
first
year.
This next year.
Yeah, well, it's not our first year. We did obviously 300 of it
current year.
last year. Yes.
And the other question, your market cap is 5 million,
Yes.
and it's been held back, I think, because of a third-party manufacturing agreement. Which
Yeah, we had a sort of situation last year where we were manufacturing something for somebody else, and that company's product didn't work. So, you know, classic aim. We announced the contract. It went up a few percent. We said, okay, we didn't make the revenue from that, and the share price tanked. So I guess we're recovering on the back of that. But it wasn't really core to the investment proposition of all our institutional holders. But obviously, it did have an effect on the share price as it sits.
Do you think when, and if you do announce that you've recovered the monies from the liquidator, that your share price could potentially rise? Is it being held back, do you think, a bit because of this?
I don't know whether that would affect it that much. It'd be speculation, but I think probably what would be interesting to the share price would be success in in the trials we're going through with the new business model.
And it was a drone. Was it a drone?
It was a drone.
A drone. So something very different from your main business.
Yeah, definitely. We didn't even design it, but it didn't work. It didn't fly. So it's a bit of an unfortunate problem.
Any other questions, anybody? Gentleman just here. Just wait for the microphone, could you? Just microphone's just coming your way. It's going to appear underneath your nose there.
Hello. I'd just like to say that Philips is a big company, and they did, as the gentleman said, like doing your what's the essence of your product, which is radio-controlled lighting, as it were. If they were to decide to tread on your territory, you wouldn't. You know, are you protected by any patents for your products?
Yes, we have a few. In smart lighting, we have a patent that was granted in February, which is a smart commissioning patent, which we think is very applicable to the broader IoT space. It revolves around something called out-of-band commissioning, and it means that nobody can steal the digital identity of your product easily. You've got to physically have it, near you, or know things about it that are not possible to get from the radio. So it's quite a clever way. We're using one of the 14 methods in there. So that we think is a potentially very interesting patent. It's one of the reasons we did an RS on it. If you want to go and read more, obviously it's out there and it explains the essence of it. So we do have patents on things in our system. Yes, of course, we've started early. This stuff isn't easy. We've got a bit of a time to market advantage right now. And I guess it's about us locking in the system with the complete solution with these customers and really solving their cost problems. And then I think ultimately it will be quite hard for them to want to make a change. In fact, why would they want to? We're solving their problems. We're saving them a ton of money in their operating costs for their building. So I guess yes, Philips could, but these guys, they move at a speed, and we're relatively agile on this, and we've been working at it for 3 years. We feel we've got a competitive advantage right now, and we need to maximise that opportunity through success in the trials.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you very much, James. Thank you for the presentation. Thank you.